Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar courtesy of Leia Education. My name is Claudia and I'll be presenting Meme and You in the classroom on behalf of TEXTO Editora and the project for our WhatsApp 8. Today's session, as you can see, is all about memes and how they can and should be used in the classroom. While they are certainly entertaining, they're also a great mechanism to engage students while you're teaching, especially because we see memes just about everywhere nowadays. And so let's have a look at what's in store for you today. And why not start with a meme that is captivating? See, I already got your attention there. As you know, internet memes are extremely popular in today's generation. With today's generation, the rise of technology, technological devices, students' ability to continue and remain focused decreases. So in a typical case, the classroom-based teaching tools like the whiteboard or PowerPoint or even videos, they're no longer greatly appreciated by this younger and newer generation. And this is because they're looking for something that's more practical oriented. They want skills to acquire knowledge, but they want this to be done in a fun manner, in a light manner. They want classroom-based teaching methods to be digital, to be innovative, and yeah, to be fun, I guess. So what exactly are these memes? Well, they come in the sense that they are very powerful images that convey lots of information in a very short period of time. So apart from engaging students and keeping them motivated, you're also introducing humor and creating a stress-free, relaxed environment for your students to then work in and to learn in. Memes. That's how they are pronounced. You may have heard memes. They're pronounced memes though. They're a way of expressing a culturally relevant idea. It can be not only an image, which we're going to see today mostly, but they can also be videos, and they represent the thoughts and feelings of the specific audience, normally in a sarcastic way. But of course, the more relatable, the better. If you can create or find memes that really tune into your students' spirits and personalities, they will greatly appreciate it. So let's have a look here at this timeline, for instance. It shows how we have become technologically dependent, basically. How much we and our students depend on technology to get things done. We went from in 1998 to how do I use technology? And it was really still curious to us. We weren't really sure about what we were doing. Even nowadays, I confess, I still don't know what I'm doing with some of the apps and software that I use. And we've shifted all the way to 2016, well now 2022, as to how can I not use technology? What do you mean I'm going to do this without technology? No, there needs to be technology. So we have, as well as our students, become technologically dependent. And this phenomenon is accompanied by the 21st century learner and consequently their teacher, because, well, as we can see here, according to the International Journal of Education, this was a study carried out last summer. These are some comments made by teachers who introduced humorous memes into their classroom while teaching. So as a whole, teachers had very little negative remarks to make, as you can see here. I mean, in fact, and as stated, they found memes to promote a positive atmosphere, grab their students' attention throughout the lesson, creating a light atmosphere, and therefore promoting a learning style that is more relaxed and more in tune with their students. So they're not dreading the lesson, let's say. Some students might be thinking, oh dear, we're going to do grammar and it's so boring. Well, maybe introducing a meme can help with that. And when compared to textbooks, they definitely turn heads, as we can see here, whether it be in the classroom, hanging out with friends, or even as it's appearing on their feed as they're scrolling down the screen. Memes are just everywhere. Even in their TikTok videos nowadays, they can be used as well, or TikTok videos are transformed into memes. So that's another idea to introduce with your class. So why incorporate memes? Well, if you're still not convinced, don't forget that technology is here to stay, and therefore, so are memes. They demonstrate concepts, they build connections, they promote learning in a fun manner, they stimulate creativity, and we're going to see that they can do much, much more. And we're going to see how. Let's have a look first at icebreakers. Excuse me. So I just needed some water there. So since memes are funny and relatable, they can act as great icebreakers between students and teachers. One good meme is enough to brighten the mood of any classroom, and so they quickly and easily catch the attention of the students who, again, were initially dreading the idea that, oh, this is going to be such a boring lesson. I've heard about what we're going to do today, and I really don't want to do this. So, for example, as an alternative ice-breaking activity on the first day, for instance, have this projected on the board for students to get to know you. Even if you're a substitute teacher, in fact, it even helps students see their teacher in a different light and actually appreciate the sense of humor, making it easier for the teacher and the student to bond. But there are more on icebreakers, as we can see here. Oh, not icebreakers. This is already into reinforcing classroom rules. Yes, I have a couple of them to show you. So we as teachers like to set ground rules on the first day of class, on the first day of school. And so to do so, why not lay out a set of classroom rules, but through memes? So again, this will reflect your personality as a teacher, and it will make sure that even though they're entertaining, we are still talking about rules here, which must be followed. Here's another set of classroom rules, memes. And why not, for instance, have a meme for each rule and then post them on the wall, or even ask the students to create their own meme based on the classroom rules that were previously discussed, and then vote on the top 3, for instance. And this is the last set I have for reinforcing classroom rules. Again, very entertaining. And I hope they just inspire you to actually use them in the classroom. Again, memes, as they're memorable, students will remember better. And they'll remember the rules better, which is also what we want. But that's not all that memes can do. Let's have a look at how they can help us, for instance, with new vocabulary. Yes, memes can be used to teach new words, new lexical sets. Again, make this an activity. Have your students create a new word meme. So what you would do is you would display the word at the top. You'd have a meme, display the word at the top, and then students at the bottom would have to place the definition of the word. So they would look up the word, place the definition, they'll remember it afterwards, or they can even write a sentence example with the word in the caption below. So again, and then share them with the rest of the class so that everyone has an idea of this new vocabulary, of what this new word means. And if there are any doubts, well, you can also use the memes to explore those. They can also be used to illustrate grammar, as we can see here. So apart from these illustrative memes, there are actually many online that contain spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. So you can also use this to your advantage. For instance, project a meme with a spelling mistake, grammatical error, and call 2 students to the front of the classroom. Place a bell in between them. Okay, this is something that if you have accompanied some of my previous webinars and sessions, this is something that I really like to use, this tool, the bell, and having students compete, let's say, these game-based learning activities. Have the bell between them and then project the meme show them, and then the first student to identify the mistake must ring the bell, answer correctly, and he or she will be awarded a point. And you can do this with 2 students, so in pairs competing against each other. You can even divide the class into teams. Memes can also be used to highlight a point from a short story or extensive reading, why not, at the end of your student's book. Simply break the class into groups and have each group create a meme from an assigned chapter in the story, for instance. Or you can even have a meme that will provide a review of the story that they've just read, and ask them, did you enjoy the story? What did you think? What was the best part? And they can answer through a meme, such as these. And yes, when preparing your students to get some homework done, memes will also be useful in this context. Prepare students for some homework by lightening the mood first through a meme, such as these. It will make the word homework seem less dramatic. However, you should bear in mind that not all memes are classroom appropriate. So, for instance, any memes containing cuss words or foul language, those should definitely not be used, as well as memes that imply any negative comments regarding race or culture, never be used as well. And just make sure that there's also a connection between the image and the text that's presented on the meme. I mean, there must be a correlation, and together they should imply something funny or sarcastic, but within the limits of and the boundaries allowed in teaching. So let's have a look at how memes can be used throughout your course book. For instance, let's say you're starting with the unit of extreme sports. We're going to see different memes that you can use for this topic. And here they are. Okay, so looking at the first meme, you can explore, for instance, the different sports, the different extreme sports in which you might suffer or might be in actual danger, and then discuss this with the classroom. In the second one with Leonardo DiCaprio, not if you're a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio, but are you a fan of extreme sports? Why or why not? In this meme, it seems like he is. So how many extreme sports can you name? So you can also do an activity here with the class if you just want to interrupt right there and say, okay, pencils out, sheet of paper, you have 1 minute to write down as many extreme sports as possible. Okay, and have them then get into this competitive race again and against each other, against time, and to see how many they can name. And I'm sure that they'll come up with different extreme sports that many of their classmates weren't even familiar with, which is great because then it's your opportunity to show them through a picture what sport they're talking about, and they'll get to know more about extreme sports. With the last meme, for instance, you would bridge this even though they're jumping not off a bridge, but you could bridge this meme, for instance, with peer pressure. Would you jump off a cliff if your friends did? This is what the mom's asking. And obviously the response of the boys is that yes, they would. So you could bridge this last one to peer pressure, for instance, which will come in handy for the next theme also. And again, any of these memes, we're talking about different extreme sports and questions and discussion, but apart from speaking activity, this can also then lead into any type of writing activity. Choose a meme and then discuss it or give your opinion on it through a text. So speaking of peer pressure, team problems is something that is also going to appear throughout the course book. So let me show you what I mean. Okay. So here we have a set of them. And do you think they're in fact all dramatic? Why? Why not? I think many parents are able to relate to the first and the second. The third is more on the student's behalf, but um, yeah, many students can probably relate to the one in the middle, I would say. However, it's for students to be aware and to be conscious of some of the teen problems that are present in today's days. So again, what could we do here? Discuss each meme individually, have students identify the teen problem that is present in the meme. Can they name any other? For instance, what other common teen problems are there in today's world that they know of? For instance. And then the challenge would be for a student to create a meme, again, a sarcastic meme, find a meme, create the caption, and then have the other students guess what it's about. For instance, the last one would go under the topic of procrastination, which would be discussed, and they would have to create something identical to this, and then other students guess what the meme is. Once everyone's presented, then classroom discussion is now open. Alternatively, you can also then use some of these meme problems and have students write their own agony aunt letter. Why not? For other students to reply. So once they've discussed these problems, they would write a letter to Dear Dr. Oz, I have a problem. I tend to procrastinate when it's time for me to study or do assignments or homework. How can I fix this? And then they would pass it on to another colleague who would then reply. So another writing activity based off of these memes. Here's another topic that you'll find in your students' book, the world of teens and fashion. Let's have a look. So apart from the meme itself, something you could do first is have students list all the clothes and accessories that they see in these memes. Looking at the first meme with Rihanna, you can have a discussion about dressing casual. And again, this can spark other discussion topics such as different styles and types of clothes that students like to wear, that they wear nowadays, if they're influenced by what they see on Instagram and on TV to determine what they're going to wear, for instance. In the second meme, that's Lenny Kravitz, by the way, can get students talking about fashion nowadays. Like, do you think some of these trends are just way too much? Is this fashion overload? And then students can even carry out a web quest and try to find the most bizarre look from a designer from fashion, and then show it to their peers. You will find many interesting ideas on that, many different photos in the normally Met Gala, the Met Gala balls from all the different actors and singers. I believe there was one in which Lady Gaga even wore raw meat, for instance, and it was a fashion statement. It was more actually a statement towards the killing of animals, which I understand. But again, you could use these images then to ask students of the importance of fashion in today's world and messages and fashion overload, if it's too much or not, and what they think, okay? And the last two memes, why not get into the topic of discussion? Let's say online shopping, consumerism, talk about 21st century habits of shopping. Nowadays, it's mainly done online, and how have these habits and fashion trends changed from the past up till now, and explore those differences as well. Alrighty, on to the world of healthy habits and food memes. So, is there such a thing as a healthy lifestyle or an unhealthy lifestyle? What does the last meme what does the last meme mean when the mother says, or when the son says, "Nice try, mom"? What is she trying to do there? Do students get that? Make sure you explore them fully to see if to check for students' understanding on this. So a follow-up activity here, for instance, can be by dividing the class into two groups and preparing a classroom debate. So one meme team can be all for healthy habits and the other meme team can be against. Each team must come up with 5 different memes, however, to support their viewpoints during the debate. So there will be some preparation that needs to be done beforehand for your students to carry out this activity. And the idea is that apart from speaking and opening a debate, a discussion, having a discussion about healthy and unhealthy lifestyles, that they introduce also some memes, some funny memes to lighten the mood, but to also introduce their viewpoint when arguing about this. Other topics of discussion can include veganism, working out, controlling addictions, other ones as well. From here, we move on to exchanging ideas about environmental threats and possible solutions. Let's have a look at some memes. So here are some memes to consider for that exact occasion. You could discuss each meme individually to highlight these environmental issues. For instance, the first one, why is it good to use reusable bags versus plastic bags? In the second one, taking 20-minute showers, why does that not help us to save the planet? I mean, what would you recommend instead? In the third one, isn't it simple to fix climate change? Apparently not. And why isn't it? And the last one, environmental problems, environmental problems everywhere. What environmental problems are present in your country or even in your city? Okay. And as follow-up, you could divide the class into different groups and have each one then create a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation on a specific environmental problem, okay? And they would explore that environmental problem, they would present the threats, they would present the solutions, but there's a catch. Each presentation, each PowerPoint presentation must include at least 3 memes about the topic at hand. All right. And the last topic to consider would be traveling, which is something we all miss very much. So here are some ideas for that. Okay, so go over the different memes and discuss, for instance, have you ever traveled abroad? How was your flight? Did you have any problems checking in? Do you prefer an aisle seat or a window seat, and why? Okay. There's lots of vocabulary also to pick up from here. Some students have in fact never traveled by plane, so it might be unfamiliar territory to them, to make sure you could explore all the different vocabulary before you jump into these memes. With this topic, you would also be able to do an activity. You could show students photos of people at the airport or even on a plane, preferably meme-oriented, and then they will have to come up with the caption. Okay, so they would just have the image, the picture ready, but then they would have to come up with the caption. And may the best caption win. In that case, you can award a first, second, or third prize and even hang them up on the wall for future meme makers to then become inspired. But that's not all, because creating these memes or finding memes, they're not as easy as you think, or maybe they are, and that's why now I'm going to give you some useful websites, online resources where you can find and explore memes with your students. And the first one I have for you is Liveworksheets.com. It's not the first time I've presented this website. Again, I continuously present some of the websites that I'm a fan of, that I can use and that I continuously use with my students. And this worksheet, this interactive worksheet, more specific, make your meme, they already present the image and then they have part of the caption available for you. And the idea is that students would then fill in the rest of the caption with their own idea. It can be done individually, it can be done in pairs, it can be done collectively as a whole, and again, feel free to award prizes. First place, second place, what's the best meme? The same meme can be used by different students and then just share the ideas to see which one came up with the most creative or the funniest, for instance. Another delightful worksheet you'll find is at islcollective.com. The worksheet is entitled Know Your Meme. This worksheet here is multiple choice activity in which students are given, again, a picture, a meme, and they have to circle A, B, or C, which is a feeling or an adjective that would best describe the meme at hand. Okay, so this is a good and useful worksheet, not only because it has memes, of course, and it's funny, but because you'll be exploring feelings and adjectives with your students. And if you head over to bamboozle.com, it's a similar approach to the first one I presented with live worksheets. Okay, just type in the code 332474. You can work from 1 to 4 groups at bamboozle.com. There are different options you can choose from. You win points, you lose points. In this specific activity, you choose a number and a meme will appear. And again, the idea is that you try to finish the caption, as you can see here, in the most creative manner possible. For instance, where we have the skeleton, when you're waiting for the bell to ring so you can leave the lesson. Or with the baby at the bottom, when the teacher announces that the test is actually going to be postponed. Or the Eddie Murphy meme, which I'm definitely a fan of, when you realize that what is going to be on your test is as easy as what you studied last year. Is that actually true? We're not sure. But again, these are just some ideas that can spark up some creativity with your students. If you visit wordwall.net, again, another useful website where you will find a spin the wheel meme, for instance. So the idea here is students spin the wheel, a meme will appear, and they have to create a caption. So again, what you can do here, again, is have 2 students standing in front of each other with the bell in the middle. The wheel will turn and turn and turn. Once it stops on a meme, the first student to ring the bell, come up with a very creative, sarcastic caption will be the winner. It's up to then the class to decide as to who had the funniest caption. Okay, and if your students are doing a good job, why not reward them with some meme stickers? Okay, these are available at Amazon.com. They're actually not as expensive as you would think. I actually bought a couple. Just make sure that the ones that you are giving to your students, again, are classroom appropriate. But these are some meme stickers to consider. For some meme tools to create them, again, which is many times if you want to be spontaneous and create your own, it's difficult to find them. But if you go to these websites here, they will allow you to create your own memes because they already have pre-generated memes for you, and you can create your own from scratch. And if you want to share these links with the French teacher, the Spanish teacher, even the Portuguese teacher, because they will allow you to create memes in about any language. All right. So fellow colleagues, to meme or not to meme? That is the question. I hope it's to meme. And just remember, memes motivate and engage students, especially our 21st century tech teams. And they help them to communicate in a very creative manner. So it allows them to express themselves differently. And it also gives them space and the confidence they need to sometimes share topics or ideas that they are keen on. And memes will definitely take a load off and make that learning much more memorable, and they'll appreciate it as well. So, on my behalf and on behalf of Texto Editores, thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at claudia.c.correa@gmail.com, or you can just contact Lay Education for that purpose as well. Okay, and stay tuned for more webinars to come by Leia Education. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the session, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.